Okay, so let's get started talking. So I'm going to introduce myself, but first of all, I want to thank Jennifer and Dodie and Lindsay for getting the word out and helping to share the message about this class. I love to teach this class. It's so much fun. And Jennifer and Dodie and Lindsay care about you ladies so much. They're some of the most amazing people I've ever met. So you are so lucky to have them as team leaders. The three of them happen to be working with me on what's called a 90-day challenge. We're talking about all sorts of things with sales and mindsets and goal setting and habits and all sorts of things. And we'll share with you a little bit about that later. But for now, we are going to talk about finding new customers. So let me tell you just a little story so that you can kind of believe me that I might know something about what I'm talking about. I started with direct sales, I don't know, about 15 years ago. And my first company was scrapbooking, okay, or scrappers. And I lived in North Dakota, and there's nothing in North Dakota. Nothing. It's just a very, very barren place. And so most of my parties, I traveled 100 miles one way, 200 miles round trip to do most of my parties. But I made a pretty big business and earned trips and titles and whatnot. And it was fun. The fun thing about being in the middle of nowhere is they have nowhere else to shop. So if you know people who live rural, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, it's a great place to grow your business because there's so few places to actually shop. So just as a side note, kind of fun. So we moved to Montana, and I had no circle of influence. I knew absolutely nobody, none whatsoever. And you know how it is, you have to do personal sales to get your override sales. So I went to work and I had a goal to book 8 parties in 30 days because I wanted to get my business going. And I went to work and I did. I booked 8 parties in 30 days, knowing absolutely nobody in my area. So this is something I'm pretty passionate about. I really believe you don't have to sell to friends and family if you don't want to. It's a great place to start. It's a great way to get your business started. But nobody has a strong, successful business all just by friends and family. I don't care how big your family is. It's still not big enough to sustain your business and to actually make an income. I say it's a great place to start, but we also don't want to depend on our friends and family for that extra $50 in sales we need that month or whatever. That kind of burned bridges. Anybody kind of had either know people or had experiences where relationships are sort of strained because of business, okay, that we see that happen now and then, and we don't want that to happen. We want you to have a big customer base and be able to find people wherever you're out and about and going, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about. Are you excited? Does that sound good? Okay. All right. Awesome. So finding new customers, it's fun. There's a couple things. I have a couple little philosophies when it comes to finding new customers. The very first one is, and Dodie's going to laugh when I say this because this is how I start pretty much everything I ever start, is you got to have a goal. Okay. You got to put down how many new customers you want to find that month, that week, that day, whatever you're focusing on, all right? And it is amazing the power and what happens. So let me tell you just a tiny bit about goal setting. I'm a huge believer that you can accomplish anything you want when you put down goals. And it's really important to write down what you want to have happen. And then the next thing that's important is that you write down the steps and break it down into pieces, into how many of what you need to do when. Okay, so I want you to think about this for a minute. So everybody can kind of shout out a number. How many new clients would you like to meet in the month of February? How many new people would you love to have? Shout out a number.
30.
4 new clients or 40?
30.
30?
30.
30, okay.
20.
20?
Maybe 10 for me.
10?
I'm going low, sorry.
10? All right.
12. Yeah.
You're 12. Carolina says 15. Okay. So let's think about this for a minute. How many parties do you like to traditionally do in a month? 5,
I'd be happy.
How many, Carla?
I said I would be happy with one party.
You'd be happy with one party. Okay, so you're feeling like you're kind of struggling right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's not too many people interested in doing anything. So.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that mindset, what you have to start saying, okay? We're going to change that up for you, girlfriend. You're going to find those people. Because is it really true nobody wants your mascara? Heck no, selling it, right?
Yeah, I know they liked it. They wanted it at first, but I don't know if they're scared of the, if it's like the scared of the commitment, or I don't know what it is.
Hey, Carla, are you doing like in-home, like inviting people to your house parties?
No, I can't do that yet, but I'd like to do an open house soon. It's just not on the radar for the immediate.
What about doing it somewhere else?
It's just the way life is right now. I have 3 small kids with school, and one in half day and one in full, and then one that, it's just the busyness. Half the time I don't really have childcare in place. So this right now is just me sort of establishing what I'm going to do come September when I have 2 kids in full-time school. And then I'm just it takes me a long time to get things collected and information learned, and then, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to see if we can kind of tweak that mindset just a little bit. Do you have a hubby at home at night or on weekends?
No, well, it's complicated, but he's traveling 7 months of the year. So.
Okay. Yeah, I have a girlfriend.
He's in a band. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have a friend whose husband is in Afghanistan 48 weeks of the year.
Yeah, it's not easy to do this off the computer. That's why the computer is kind of my outlet for sure.
Okay.
So if I can find ways to connect with people on chat, Facebook, emails, and whatever, that's where it's going to be for me for now. But
okay. All right. No problem. But okay, so let me tell you, okay, and this is if you're really open to this will change your life, and Jody will attest to this, okay? You made the comment, okay, let me tell you this. If I tell you, we're getting sidetracked, but it's okay. I do this all the time. I get sidetracked.
right.
If I tell you, don't think about a pink elephant. Whatever you do not let a pink elephant pop into your head. Don't think about a pink elephant.
Okay, this sounds. But
okay.
What is a pink elephant?
Okay, it's hard, right? It's hard not to let that pop into your head. Agreed? Okay. So and the reason is we don't hear the word don't, not, won't, can't, not, never. We don't hear those words. Okay. And plus, what we're hearing is pink elephant. No matter how many times I say don't, you still hear the word pink elephant. Okay. So, my dear new friend Carla, the more you say that nobody's interested, that is more what you're going to think about, and that's more what you're going to get. Okay? You have to fake it for a while. It's hard, and you just have to have this much hope I'm right. And you can ask Dodie. She started with this much hope. Okay? You have to say there are people who are interested in having parties. And you write that down, and you write it on Post-it notes. Not will be, they are. Right? Because somebody's selling mascara right now. Somebody's selling eyeshadow. Somebody's selling lip stain. Well, not in March you will, but you know what I mean, okay? Someone's selling something. So technically, logically, up here in your brain, technically there's somebody interested out there. But in your heart, you've had a couple not the most positive experiences. So now you've kind of put up some walls, and you're focusing on people aren't interested, okay? When you just decide to write down people are interested in holding parties, you will find someone. And it sounds like, really, Michelle? How can it be that simple? Okay? And it's like, but what if it doesn't happen? I don't know if I dare do that, right? There's this little voice that's messing with you and going, this crazy girl in this pink shirt who I don't know can't possibly know what she's talking about. It's okay. Dodie thought the same thing, but she loves me now. Okay? All right? It's really, really important that you talk about what you want to have happen, even when you don't believe it. So even if you write it on here, I know you're not going to believe it at first. It's totally okay. All you have to have is a little bit of hope.
Oh, I have hope. Trust me. This is why I'm on this, is to find out where to find new customers, because that's where I want to be.
We've got to have you actively being hopeful.
I am hopeful.
Okay, but your words, so it's not that I don't believe you that you don't want this. I know you want it, but your actions aren't bringing to you the energy that you need. Does that make sense? Okay. So here, let me talk to the whole group so you don't feel singled out, because I'm sorry. I really am trying to help you, not make you feel bad, because this really does work. Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
Jennifer, save me. Oh my gosh.
I'm nice, right, Jennifer? You'll love me when it's all over. Okay. So
Carla, you're gonna finish this thinking that you where has this woman been all my life? Because really, she's the queen of the aha moment. So
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
I thought I was going to be the question queen, but I'm the queen of the aha moment. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm muting again.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this little booklet here. Okay. This little Post-it notes. These are your friends. These are your best friends. Okay. Because this is what you do. You want to put down how many new people you want to meet. Okay. So let's say you put down 20 and you only meet 10. Would you really be highly disappointed that you only meet 10 new customers that month? Would it just like be awful? No, right? You would still be excited there was 10. So it's okay. We don't meet our goals every single time, but usually we reach higher than we would have had we not put them down. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you I have the magic formula to meet your goals every single time, but they happen a lot more often if you put them down. Okay, so you want to pick a number for the month, or you can divide it by 4 and put it down for the week and change up your Post-it notes every week. All right. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to put it in several places where you spend the most time. Okay, so for my dear friend Carla, who loves the computer, and that's the easiest because 3 kids is a nightmare to go to Target, which I totally get. Okay.
It's closing now, so we won't have Target anymore.
Oh, bummer. Okay, so you're going to put these all around your computer and by your phone and by your bed and stuff like that. If you're someone who gets out of the house a lot, okay, so I run a business, as you see, and I have 4 children that are part-time homeschooled and part-time schooled. Carla, if you saw my daytime schedule, like you would like lose your brain. Okay, like it's crazy. Going and coming is the nutsiest thing at my house, but it's okay because it's my choice. I chose this, okay, and I love it, but it is crazy. So my favorite place to put this is next to the speedometer in my car, because it is the last thing I see before I jump out and I run into Target, doctor's office, gym, wherever I might be headed. Okay, it's the last thing that I see, and it goes, oh, who do I have to meet today? So let me tell you another thing, Carla, that I think you're going to like, and all of you will. There is somebody, okay, I know you all really love your product, and I know you believe in your opportunity and that somebody else needs what you have, right? Everybody a believer, right? Okay, this is what you love. Do you believe somebody else needs it besides you?
Yeah.
How much do you believe that? Okay, so if you're not working on your goals, that other person who needs it won't be able to accomplish theirs. So think about that for a minute. Like, let that settle in. If you're not working on your goals, somebody else can accomplish theirs. Or if you want to see it in the positive, when you're working on your goals, somebody else will be able to accomplish theirs. Someone needs to meet you. And when you choose to think that, you know, when that little stinking thinking sneaks in your head and starts bugging you and starts being mean to you and telling you nobody wants to have parties, okay, which that's just what happens. It's totally normal, and it's frustrating, but it's normal, okay? When that sneaks into your head and starts being mean to you, you've got to go back and start rewinding that. No, I know people want to have parties. I know people like this product. I know people need this opportunity. I know people need to find this makeup, and it makes them feel good, and it's natural. You have to start saying over and over again what you want to believe and what you want to have happen. Even if there's this piece of you that doesn't believe it 100%, it's totally okay. Okay? It's really okay that you don't totally believe it yet. It will start to manifest, and you'll start to believe it more and more, and it'll become more of a belief than a hope. It's really fun to see it happen. And and you know, you'll message me and go, oh my gosh, I met this person and I can't believe how I met them and da, 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 da. Okay, I have that happen all the time. I'm like, okay, how did we meet each other? Especially if it's online. Sometimes it was somebody's friend through somebody's friend through somebody's friend, and I'm like, how many generations have we gone through now? You know, I have a great granddaughter, great grand, you know, not necessarily related, but you know, that's how many steps they are away from me now. So it's amazing what happens when you put down what you want. But I promise you, you have to focus on what you want, not what you're scared what won't happen. Can you feel the difference? It's so easy to end up focusing on our fears instead of focusing on what we want to have happen. Okay? And it's understandable and it's human and it's normal. But if you choose to be abnormal and focus on what you want and tell your fears to get the heck out, that's where things changes. Right, Dodie? Okay? So that's your very first step. Okay? The next step is you just got to make more friends. You just got to decide to be more friendly. You think, well, I'm nice. Now, I know you're nice. That's not my doubt. But sometimes we can get really tunnel vision. We go into a store or we get on Facebook or whatever it is. We have a goal. We get our goal done and we go out and we don't even say hello or make eye contact with anyone. And sometimes we're in a hurry and we're busy and that's what you have to do that day. But if this is the last thing you saw before you go into Target, or it's on your screen when you get on Facebook and you have this little prayer in your heart, because I believe that goal setting is another way to pray always. Okay? So when you have this little prayer in your heart, help me find those who need me. There's like this funny energy that turns and shifts and start bringing you the people who have that goal, who need what you have. Okay? But when you just start acting a little more friendly, just a little more friendly, saying hi to people, giving them compliments, it feels so good. And what you're going to do, this is so amazing. I cannot tell you how many people I've met and I've got to hear their stories. And some of them have really hard lives. Okay. Sometimes I meet people, I'm like, wow, okay, that's a new level of hard. Okay. You hear how they're surviving their life and how they're getting through what they have to deal with. Okay. When you have that going on, it's amazing how you get to talk to people and how you get to hear their stories and get inspired by their lives. So some of them will be new friends and some of them will be new customers, but either way, you'll be more motivated in your life because you hear about other people's stories. It's really cool. It's such a gift to give yourself to just talk to people more. Okay? All right. Now, be sure that you're putting your reminders of your goals in lots of places. This is my little favorite, you know, your Post-it notes. It's just easy. You can put it on your keychain. You can even write it on your debit card. You can put it in all sorts of places, okay? Get talking to people and set your goals. Those are your first two steps, all right? So let me give you some ideas on how to start some conversations, because sometimes that's the problem. It's like we want to be nice and we want to help. Yeah, compliments are great ways to start conversations. So let me tell you about compliments, because I am a big believer in compliments. Sometimes a compliment won't start a conversation, though. Sometimes they go, oh, thank you, turn around and just keep doing what they're doing. So you want to have like some questions. You could even ask, you know, if you complimented them on their shoes, where did you get your shoes? You compliment them on their smile, you know, you compliment them on their shirt. Have a question to follow up so that a conversation can start and they don't just say thank you. Okay, so that's your first one. Your next one is to, to just be curious. It's fun to ask people, you know, it could be about their kids. It could be about something they're buying that's on the conveyor belt. It can be all sorts of things. You can do the same thing on Facebook. If you saw someone who you've wanted to talk to about the makeup and you saw their kid's been sick, message them, start a conversation, care about them. Hey, how's little Johnny doing? I saw I broke his arm. What's going on with that? Okay. It's kind of fun because on Facebook, here you have the opportunity to go through their feed, find out stuff about them, and you can have an idea of something you want to ask them about. I mean, people put it there because they want you to care about it, right? Okay, I have a friend. She's so funny. Has anyone read The 5 Love Languages?
No.
No? Nobody? Okay, so you have? Okay, awesome, Carla. All right. So the 5 love languages, it was so funny. So there's acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and that's not always sexual. I mean, some women, there's the woman who always has to hug you. Okay, physical touch, gifts, something that's literally a physical thing can be put in a box and wrapped up. Okay, or words of affirmation. And this friend and I, we were totally laughing that we were both words of affirmation. She's like, I post on Pinterest and Facebook all the time because I love the feedback. I love people telling me my house is cute. And she's not shallow. She's not. She's pretty secure. She's one of the nicest people. But she does. She just loves the feedback. And it's just because she's words of affirmation. Okay. So here you have people on Facebook. If somebody posts a ton, probably words of affirmation. Give them compliments and ask them about them. They're your new best friend because you showed interest in them. It's just one of the love languages. Okay. So it's kind of fun. Like you can watch that and see that with people. Okay. So being curious, asking questions, giving compliments. Now, another one that I like is asking an opinion. Okay. So when, if you're buying something or somebody has a laundry detergent you've never tried, hey, tell me about that. What's your opinion on that? I've seen that on, commercial. I thought about trying it, never have. What do you think of that product? Okay. What do you think about things? I mean, who doesn't like it when you're asked an opinion? Doesn't it make you kind of feel important and like, oh, they respect, what I have to say? Okay. So asking an opinion is a really great one to go with. Okay. Another one I like is just questions of commonality. Here in my state, I live in Washington State. Our Seahawks just lost, okay? But I probably wouldn't bring it up now. But a couple weeks ago, when we were excited about the Super Bowl, I could have talked about anyone about the Seahawks in line at Target, and they would have been more than happy to give me an opinion and talk to me about it, okay? If you have crazy weather going on, if you have a holiday that they just had, it's real fun to ask people, what are they doing for Valentine's Day? Are they dressing up? Are they going out with their husband? How easy could that lead into a conversation about makeup? Okay. What's going on right now that could possibly go towards that? That ask people questions, what kind of things, what New Year's resolutions did you set? Someone who's wanting to feel more attractive or better about themselves or financial goal, this might be a good fit for them. Okay. There's all sorts of things you can just kind of ask people and start a conversation to see if something opens up. So this is what I want you to realize, that as you talk to people and you find out things about people, let's say you meet 10, 5 of them will probably be customers and 5 of them won't, but you were nicer and you made someone's day. And when you shift that attitude of, I'm just going to talk to more people and see what happens, that's where cool things happen. Okay. Don't worry about it that not every one of them turn into customers. It's totally okay. If you're talking to people, some of them will. And that's what's so important, because I see some people that so badly want like a foolproof plan, but there isn't one. Okay. Well, if there is, I don't know about it. If there was, I'd be really, really wealthy, but it is a numbers game. Okay. Network marketing is a little bit of a numbers game, but I can give you some way to increase your closing ratio and your closing odds. Okay. So that's what we're going to work on. Okay. So is everybody comfortable with just being able to at least give someone a compliment and write down a goal? Is anyone, because some people are really like, those are way scared. Okay. Way scary things. Attitude of gratitude for everyone is the key. Well done. I like it, Tina. Good job. Okay. So let's talk about what happens when this is where I help you bridge a gap, because I kind of have this little joke that none of us want to come off like this person. Okay. There's in this before Younique, it was more like the Mary Kay person. You're standing next to somebody in Target and you go, well, you've got eyes. You must need makeup. What's your name? Tom. And it's like, they would just sell to anybody. Well, nobody really acts like that most of the time, but that's what we're fearful of, what we're going to look like, right? Okay. So that's one of those things. What did you put down here, Dodie?
Oh, what about, excuse me, what about leaving like flyers, or I know there's a terminology in Younique, they're little cards, that type of thing, when you go places, or
well,
on that type of thing?
Right. Well, you tell me, how many of those people have called you?
Well, actually, my dermatologist plastic surgeon, she couldn't find me online because my name was so close to, I guess, somebody else's. So anyways, long story short, she ordered from just a generic person. She still hasn't got her product, so I'm following up with it corporate with her. And I made sure I called her and let her know, about it. Now she's been telling some of her other patients, because she's an older plastic surgeon, and
Oh, cool.
women that are losing their lashes. But I mean, just in general, I've seen flyers of other people, like at doctor's offices, and I haven't tried it yet, but I was just wondering if that's very tactful or if it works, because I know a lot of people, they don't get a chance to get out unless they're going to the doctor. It's like, I think it was Jennifer or someone that has a child, the same thing. So maybe that's where they see something.
Okay, now, did your dermatologist hear about it just because there was a card left or because you talked to her? Him, her?
He was talking to her assistant about it and gave her, because the assistant wanted the information, gave her the card, went outside, and when the doctor finally came back in, she said, oh, well, so-and-so was, showing this card that I have, my business card, which has big lashes on it and that. And she told me about it, and I also happened to be wearing it at the time before I had to take it off, and she got to see what it looked like.
Okay, so forgive me. I still need the question is, did someone get interested in it just because there was a card laying around or because you were proactive about talking to somebody?
Probably the proactive talking to somebody, which was the assistant I gave the card to, and then she in turn went and talked to somebody else.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get you to see. Okay. If you want to spend time and money putting cards and whatnot out, it's one way to do things. Okay. I think it's a needle in a haystack kind of thing where it just doesn't happen a lot. A lot of people don't call you back or pick it up and are proactive about it. It's a lot of money and it's a lot of time. I just think there's better proactive ways to do it. And see, you handed it to her, talked to her about it, there was some rapport, and they shared it with somebody else. That's way different than just leaving it in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense? Okay. So I just think there's a lot of money wasted and time wasted when you could have talked to somebody directly, which is what you did.
Okay, then I've only been in this for a little over a month because I had surgery.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
yeah, I'm not a big fan of wasting money on printed material.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And I'll even tell you about business cards and my 2 cents on that one. Okay. All right. So when we hear an opening, okay, so Dodie, for example, when you heard this opening when somebody was interested, this is exactly where this conversation is going to come in helpful. Okay. Because we get talking to somebody, there's a conversation that, we kind of see this opportunity to talk to them about makeup. All right. And one of the things that you want to do is there's this 3-step process. So I want you to think about this for a minute. The last time you had a conversation with a husband or a mom or a sister, someone you trust and love, and you were telling them and venting to them about a problem, and they jumped in and they said, why don't you just do this? And they just kind of had this instant solution for us. How many of you kind of want to go talk to the hand? It just doesn't go over real well when somebody jumps in with a solution. Anyone feel like that? Okay. Anyone want to kind of tell their husband or person they love to kind of bug off? You were just venting. Okay. So the thing is, when we hear an opportunity pop open about makeup, it's like, oh, okay. Either we do the, oh, you've got eyes, let me tell you about it. Or we're so scared we don't talk about it at all. So I have a bridge for you that makes it so you don't have to be either of those people, but you can be really sensitive and listen and be really understanding and get some good conversation going with the person. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is say, this is even a good one to use when somebody has noticed you have the lashes on and makes a comment about them. Okay. Or they like your makeup, your lipstick, or whatever it is they might comment on. So rather you find a hole that they talk about or they comment on your stuff. Okay. Because the other thing that I see happen that I'm going to give you an alternative method for approaching this is when somebody comments on your lashes. Like somebody the other day, I was on a call with someone and they sold purses. Okay. Well, someone saw my purse and they complimented me on it, And I said, ooh, I can help you buy one of these. Okay, like the person had no idea they sold them, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, you're a salesperson. Okay, so just think about it. It just doesn't go over real well, but we don't know any better, so that's what we do. Okay, that's just what we do because we don't know what else to do. So this is what we do. First of all, we ask people, oh, if it's a compliment, you thank them. Oh, you're so sweet. That's so nice of you. You know, tell me, what kind of mascara do you use? Are you ever wanting to have longer lashes? So you want to ask them about them. Or if you're talking about some makeup issue or some problem, hey, what are you using now to what kind of makeup do you use now? What do you like that works? We want to ask them what they've been using so far. And especially if it's a mascara situation, what are you using so far to make your lashes seem longer and fuller? What do you use now? Okay. And what this does is this lets them save face. Because think about it, when your sister, your husband, whoever it was, jumped in with the solution, it's kind of like, do you think I'm stupid? Okay, that's kind of how we feel, right? It's like, well, I'm smart. Do you not know I'm smart? Why do you come in with a simple solution? So when we don't jump in with a solution, and this is how we approach it, it helps them to save face. And we're not treating them like, we don't set up a situation where they feel like we're insinuating that they didn't come up with a better idea. That's not what you're saying, but that's just how it feels, right? Because your husband and mom or whoever it was, they meant well, they were just trying to help. But we don't see that at the moment when they say it. Would you agree? Okay. So then we say, tell me how well that's been working for you. Or tell me how well that helped you achieve the goals that you had. Or tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how close did it get you to the goal or the effects you were hoping for? Okay. And so you have to really hear this question. If you say, oh, does that work for you? Well, they might say, well, yeah, I guess, because they don't know there was something better. If you ask, how well did it work? How close did it get you to your goal? And they go, well, like a 5, or, well, I don't know, it kind of worked. It would have been nice if I had this effect, or it seemed longer, or, you know, the eyeliner lasted longer, or whatever it was. Then they can tell you how it worked and how it didn't work for them. Okay, they're all about open-ended questions. Okay, now I have a whole list of questions I put on this just for you guys, because most of the time this is pretty generic. So if you're looking at the agenda, it says questions that will open doors to share products. So listen to some of these questions and feel what kind of conversation this might give you when you're talking to somebody. Tell me how many days a week. Well, this is a follow-up phone call with somebody that you've already talked to. But you could ask, how many days a week do you wear makeup? This one says, how many days a week do you wear 3D lashes? What colors do you like to purchase? What colors of clothes, what colors do you like to wear? How often do you wear lipstick or lip products? What kind of lip products do you normally wear? Okay. Do you like to use things wet or dry? What are you currently using to apply your makeup? What is your current skincare routine? If you could improve one area of your skin, what would it be? If you could come up with what's one makeup technique you've been wanting to learn, you've seen these, and you know, which technique would you love to learn more about? Okay, these are all on the agenda. But can you imagine how having these questions when you get talking about makeup with someone, instead of instantly going in for the kill and talking about the 3D lashes, if you ask a bunch of these questions, all right, it is amazing what you can do to open up. First of all, you gain lots of trust with them. You build relationships with them. And here you get to find out a ton about them. Now, if you just lead with those lashes and someone doesn't even wear mascara, you miss out on opportunities. So let me kind of give you an example. There is a gal that I was talking to. They were all in the wedding industry. Yeah, they are on the one from the other day, Jennifer. But I was talking to people in a wedding industry. There was a guy that carved ice. There was a gal that had a facility. There was someone who had flowers. There were all these different people. Well, one of the people was a wedding officiator. And I'm talking to, and we were talking about this, asking questions and when you do things in a booth. Okay. So we're talking about this. And I said, well, what's your normal routine? Somebody walks through your booth. What do you do? She goes, well, I say hi and I go, and I show you a couple of ways that we make a wedding special. And I show them about a couple little things that we do to kind of make it special and, bond the couple. And I'm like, okay, the questions aren't on that agenda. Okay, there will be a thank you that goes out with this recording, and I'll make sure that the right agenda gets on there. Sometimes my web design gal, sometimes we don't communicate. Anyway, mistakes just happen. So I will fix that. No problem. Okay. So I'm talking to this wedding officiator, and she's talking about brides come in. She just shares a couple ideas of what they do for a wedding. So I said, okay, so think about this. What if instead the bride comes to your booth and you say, hi, I'm so excited to meet you. What's your name? When are you getting married? Where is the wedding going to be held? What kind of special things have you thought about using to kind of make your ceremony special and unique and something that bonds you and your future husband? And you ask all these questions. I said, let me ask you, how many different methods do you have for making a wedding ceremony special? Do you have maybe 10? She goes, yeah, I have about 10. I says, and how many do you tell them about in your booth if they walk through? Well, 3 of them. I said, so what if you're asking these questions and they talk about one that you didn't mention as number 7 of your number 10? I said, can you see how they might just keep walking. They have no idea you do that. And you may have just missed out on a client. She almost started crying. I've been doing it wrong. And I'm like, oh goodness. You've officiated lots of weddings, right? She goes, yeah. I says, okay. So it wasn't that you're not successful. I'm just saying you might be able to book a couple more. And she's like, yes, oh my gosh. Okay. That's what happens when we talk at people about the makeup before we ask questions, because we're using the lashes as kind of a way to get people in. But believe it or not, there's people who don't wear mascara, okay? Or there's people, you see me, I have great lips. I love stuff on my lips, okay? You might as well talk to me about lips first. Well, I like my eyes too. But it's one of those funny things that if you talk and ask people questions, you're going to find out what their thing is, because you carry several good products. Don't use the lashes as a crutch when there's an opportunity to, 1, sell them more than just lashes, and 2, if that's not their thing, the conversation instantly dies. So then you miss out on an opportunity to talk to them about several other things. So this is where these asking questions is like doubles your income. So you've got your goals, you have better questions, the universe is working for you, you know how to better connect with people. Can you see how your business can blow up? Okay, this is fun. This is exciting. There are so many cool things you can do. Now this takes practice. You'll get a target, you'll get online, you'll get wherever, and you'll kind of freeze and you'll think, what did Michelle tell me to do? Have little cheat sheets with you, or put a few questions on your phone and have it as your screensaver. Don't try to remember it all, okay? You're creating new habits. Explain to yourself, okay? All these are just habits. It's real easy to, somebody inquires on Facebook and you just throw up on them and send them your website and all the information. No, stop, okay? Ask the questions first, okay? Make sure you ask these questions before you go for the sale. Get to know them, because you will probably sell twice as much. When I learned how to do this, I was with a company that I had a title, I'd earned a trip. I earned the trip in half the time allotted the next year because I knew how to ask these questions, and my sales at my parties were doubling. And people were saying I wasn't pushy, which it wasn't that people said I was pushy before, but you can see, I'm not scared to say stuff, but I was appearing nicer. Do you understand? That's the whole thing. You guys are the nicest people, and you love your product, but we can come off like salespeople when we just have good intentions. So this is how you come off really authentic. And guess what? If somebody just tells you they don't ever wear makeup, they're never going to wear makeup, it's just not their thing, Well, duh, you don't talk about it. It's no big deal. You made a new friend. Move on. Okay. It's okay not to tell everybody about it. It's no big deal. Okay. So let me tell you. So you meet somebody and you're so excited. You've had this conversation. They need to see the lashes. You didn't have any on hand, cash and carry. Okay. So you've got to meet up with them. Please, dear friends, if you think you're going to chicken out and you're going to hand them a business card and walk off and hope they call you, oh, please, okay, you just dissolved all your hard work, okay? What I do, I open up my phone, I open up a new contact, I hand it to them, and I say, here, will you put in your information? So that way I have it and I make sure I've spelled everything right. So they put in their name, their phone number, email address is what I ask them for it. I text them right then. Hi, Susie, it was so fun to meet with you. I'm so excited to share some more of, this fun pigments with you. So then when I call them, they are familiar with the phone number, or when I text them, they go, oh, that was that crazy girl I talked to about lashes at Target. Okay. So and you can give them a business card if you get their information first. If you're one that chickens out, don't take business cards with you, because then you can go, I don't have my business cards with me. I'll have to get your name and number and contact you. Okay. I really don't care if you spend money on business cards. Okay. Nobody keeps them. They get thrown away, whatever. Unless you put them on a magnet, sometimes they don't get thrown away. I'm not one that just thinks I think it's way more important you label the product. So when they have it and they need a reorder, spend money and time on that, not on business cards. Okay. It's just my little 2 cents. You have to ask them for their contact information. They won't contact you. So contact them within 24 to 48 hours. When you're talking to them, you can do what's called an optional close. You can say, would you like to come to like a party situation, to a group thing, or should we just meet one-on-one? Okay. Optional closes are good. Should I get you some samples on just this product, or would you like some samples on both these products, or, whatever it is. Okay. All right, I like to keep a notebook and keep track of how many people I talk to and how often I close the deal, because you need to know how many yeses you got to know so you don't get discouraged. That's why I like to keep track of my numbers. Okay? Who feels like they're better equipped and like you're going to feel a lot more authentic? Who's excited? Okay, so my little Jennifer. So what was everybody's aha moment? Dodie, can you hear me? Not.
Which Dodie?
Nottingham.
Yeah, I can hear you, and now I understand about the business card. Now, I do have a question, though, because obviously you can take their information on the phone. What if you have a small notebook, which I carry around in my purse all the time, with just contact information? Is it okay to have them just write it on there and then transfer it? This way it saves them time, and it's sometimes quicker, because a lot of times people, they just hate texting that I'm running into, or...
Mm-hmm. You can do that as long as you text them really quickly after. The reason I do it is because then when they get the text, I know the number wasn't put down wrong, or if I can't read it. If you're going to do that, just make sure that you can read everything that's put down. Now, was this a 4 or a 9? Is this an S or a 5? Like, make sure you can read it if that's how you're going to do it.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's the only thing I run into. I know about you. If somebody writes fast, sometimes I'm not always sure what they wrote. Okay. All right. Tina, her aha moment. Continue being genuine and compliment. Awesome. Jennifer, did you have any new aha moments today?
Oh yeah, I was actually just typing. I like the idea of using the phone to get their contact info. I think that's brilliant. Like, you kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of business cards, and you kind of like, oh, I'm so popular, I have no cards left.
Yeah.
And then I would probably phrase it that way. And then I have lots of cards, but but I like that idea, especially like, say if you're using the inline at Target. Well, Carla won't be going to Target, but Safeway, Sobeys, wherever you go. You go, you're in line and like, oh, what's this? Oh, and you start a conversation with them, and then maybe, that's just a real quick way to get their contact info.
Awesome. All right. Caroline says, I like the suggestion on the compliments and working with what they're saying to move the discussion forward. Awesome. Carla, just to open up conversation, dialogue with compliments and observations, school pickup. Yeah, that'd be an awesome place. Tina, continue being genuine and compliment people. Be approachable and kind. Awesome. Let's see. Holly, what was your aha moment?
I like the idea of asking people more about their skincare routine than just jumping in and saying, oh, well, you'd really like this or try this, asking them what they even use to find out what they might need or want. So I really like that. Thank you.
You bet. Awesome. Carolina, okay, Miss Doty, what's your aha moment for the day?
Well, I mean, it's not for today because but I think, so I've been doing this almost a year, and I cannot believe that before I met Michelle, it was all about my makeup. I never asked anybody a single solitary question about what they used, what they like now. I mean, I can't wait to see what's going to happen now that I ask those questions. I mean, for that, this whole thing, meeting Michelle, like with today's class and all the classes I've taken, that's been my biggest aha moment. Like, I cannot believe because I do genuinely care about people, and I think they truly get that and know that, but I've never like really gotten to know their needs as far as cosmetics and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Doty too. I mean, just the other free call the other day that we did about the needs, the follow-up and the needs-based stuff, that was huge, because I think we've all been trained by our uplines to sell vomit, right? I love that thing Michelle says, sell vomit, right? We're just barraging people with my mascara, my lashes, blah, 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 blah. So I think starting to ask people questions, and that's what I'm really trying to start focusing on with my team, and I think Doty and Lindsay probably are too, is that if we come across differently and as experts, which I love that Michelle was saying that the other day, because I've really been trying to talk to my team about don't be spammers, especially because we have moved over to Google Plus for our training. I don't know, Doty, if you've done that, but I'm seeing them all I'm seeing all these Younique girls, not so much mine, but in the makeup and hair communities, just cell vomiting. They're not creating any type of relationships with anybody, and they're just throwing all this crap in there. And again, they're going to end up giving a bad name to Younique. I mean, we're dealing with it on Facebook, and now it's, and I've heard some people say it about Instagram too. So it's by setting ourselves apart, by being truly interested in our customers and offering them solutions, I think is going to help all of us do what Michelle said and really, boost our sales, set ourselves apart from just those girls that are just trying to sell crap, right? I mean, and I think, and I just want to say one quick thing too. I don't know, we had the purple call last night, and one of the things that Tracy Vlahos said, which was funny because my husband said it like literally 2 hours before, is a paradigm shift about the opportunity. And I think, Michelle, you were sort of talking about this as well, that the opportunity is a product. It's a product, right? People have needs that opportunity is going to fill, whether it's financial, whether it's, for something in their lives that's missing, whether it's, building new friendships. That's an opportunity. That's a product that we should be also offering to people. It's a product. It's not anything other than a product. And I think a paradigm shift to that, in conjunction with what we're talking about, finding out people's needs, can be huge for everybody on all of our teams. Sorry, blah, blah.
No, it's great. I mean, this is a total side note, but when I was recruiting, I realized I had to find out 3 things, because I could recruit even better than I could sell my product, because I was so passionate about the opportunity. And I had to find out if they love the product. So I'm not one that starts with a business opportunity, because I think they need to love the product or they're not going to sell it very well, which is my way of thinking. But then I needed to find out if they had any need for a little extra money, what they would do with it. Then I had to find out if they had an emotional need. So like Jennifer, you're saying, Did they just change diaper 5,000 and they haven't had anyone give them a compliment or a thank you? You know, are they needing some new friends, or do they hate the work they're at? You know, is there an emotional need? And because I saw my business opportunity as something someone needed. And so that is a thing. You find out those three things, but I don't know how many of you have looked at the recruit script yet, but you'll find those things out and you'll better be able to really emotionally connect with people. It's kind of fun. So that's kind of total side note. But okay, if I could share with all of you really quick, there's a couple trainings that I offer that would give you some extensive training or further training on this, and also help to change your habits. Because you learn about this and then you go out to do it, and sometimes it's a little tricky to get those habits changed, okay? And so that's where I come in and kind of hold your hand and help you do that. Now, Dodie and Jennifer and Lindsay are taking my what's called 90-day challenge. And the 90-day challenge is a ton of fun. We learn a lot. We go over goals a lot, habits, lots of these questions. We talk a lot about selling in all different situations, finding new customers, how to get on the phone and it not be terrifying and awful. Do you have some aha moments on that this morning, Dodie, on the phone calling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not one time that goes by that you're not with Michelle that you're not going to have an aha moment. This doesn't happen.
Well, thank you. It's kind of fun. So there are all these things we cover, and that's a 3-month program. It's for 12 weeks. We do this on Zoom, and we have some classes starting February 19th, and it's fun. It's a really neat opportunity. Now, for some people, that's a good class if you've got a little bit of momentum. You have a class now and then, you have a couple of recruits, and you're trying to take those skills and get better at them. If you're more new, or if you're more like at a standstill, I have 3 really fun, we call them master classes. And there's master building your customer list, there's master sales, and there's master recruiting. And they're 4 weeks. So the 90-day class is either $110 per month, or you can pay the whole $300 and save $30. Or the master classes are $100 for a month, or you can pay 2 payments of $60. So you save $20 if you pay the whole thing up front. Dodie, can you tell them how quickly you paid for your class?
Within 3 days, but I mean, yeah, I didn't have the extra money right then to do it, and I knew I really wanted to do it, but I just couldn't justify it because I needed to get my convention ticket, all this other stuff. So literally Thursday was 4 weeks ago, Thursday was my first class. And then on that call, Michelle said, was talking to somebody else, but said, write down what specifically that you want, fold that piece of paper up and tuck it away. And so I thought, well, I'm going to give this a go. And so that Thursday after that 10 a.m. class, so 11:15, I wrote down on a piece of paper, please, I need to find some extra income this month to be able to help myself and my team. And, because we're at this standpoint where I'm ready to take it to the next level. On Saturday, I found out that I was going to get a pretty substantial tax return, and my husband and I never get tax returns. So that was a blessing in itself. And then on Sunday, my sister and I were out to dinner, and I was so excited because she used to do my taxes about this tax return. And she's like, well, if you need some money now, I'll just forward you some. And so then boom, it was like prayers were answered, and I was able to not feel guilty about buying Michelle's program and my convention ticket. And yeah.
But you've done more in sales too, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I've done more. So today is the 5th. I have done more in sales in these 5 days than I have done like in the last month and even in the month of December.
So it's fun. It's when you shift mentally and you have a few little new ways of doing things, you can really change things quickly. So what I do is I just ask you if you'd like to have a little chat with me, and then we can find out, based on your goals, based on where you're at with your business right now, is the 90-day challenge a better fit, or is the masterclass a better fit, or do you already know what I have and I'm not a good fit for you? Maybe there's a better coach that's right for you. That doesn't hurt my feelings, okay? Because there's other good coaches out there too. So what I'd love to know is who would just like to have a quick little chat with me, okay? Oh, we forgot really quick. I'm so sorry. The ones that are on the phone, what were your aha moments? Well, Julie, Joya Leah, I think you typed yours down in the chat, right? And Tina, oh, not Tina. I'm so sorry. Tiffany, did you have an aha moment? She must be muted. Okay, so who would like to have a quick chat with me to find out a little bit more about these programs and what we do? Anyone? All right, so we're having some little Joe Leah. Okay, so I have the phone number that's listed here. I'm going to stop the recording. Hang on.